people were tweeting at me right away after the Savoie trade, being like, Dusty, what do you think? I said, well, they're deep. He'll probably start in the American League, which is probably what will happen. Okay, it'll probably what's happened. But this is not an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old. This is a guy who's played in the Western Hockey League for 2 more. He's already played a game in the NHL as well. Played on like 5 different teams this year. When you look at all the teams, he got traded in the Western League. Played in the World Juniors. Like, this is a guy who is close. We'll ask James Gallo, voice of the Warriors, is going to join us at 8:30 today. We'll ask him how close he thinks he is to being a National Hockey Leaguer. But this was a guy who was a top 10 pick 2 years ago. Like, it's not crazy to think that he could play on the third line in the National Hockey League right now. So if he can, then my first mix and match Monday is going to be McDavid between Hyman and Skinner, Draisaitl between Arvidsson and Holloway, Nuge between Matt Savoie and Evander Kane, Henrique, Brown, Janmark, Ryan Perry. How that fits in on the cap, we'll leave it. That's not what this is about. This is just about mixing and matching guys that they currently have.
Stampeder says Jordan 6, James 4. Enough said.
Oh, my God. Enough. Okay, then Bill Russell's greatest of all time and Jordan's not. Like, it's, stop with it. Not right now. Not right now. I'm trying to lay out the mix and match Monday line thing. Save it. I'll give you a day where we can have this conversation. I will shoot down pretty much every single thing you have to say. My God.
Well, Guillermo Negro says that's depth, baby, and I have to agree. And your point of saying, hey, the third line is now your fourth.
Yes.
That's
if you
a
want
good,
it to be.
Yeah.
If you want it to be,
sure, yeah.
You can, right? If you want it to be, you can. Mucky is in and says, Dusty, what about Victor? I said Arvidsson. He's there. McDavid between Hyman and Skinner. Draisaitl between Arvidsson and Holloway. That gives you the opportunity, because with the way a lot of people are lining this thing up right now, and how it could possibly start with, like, if they go back to Nuge, McDavid, Hyman, and then it's Skinner, Draisaitl, Arvidsson, and if you want the Henrique, Brown, Janmark line together, and you view it as a third line, then what? Holloway's a fourth liner again? I think you need to be able to continue to provide Holloway with the room to grow here and put him in a good spot to start next season. I think Dylan Holloway has earned a shot to start next year alongside Leon Draisaitl.
And it's a great-looking spine. With your true franchise-defining centers right down that middle.
Some of you may call this a homer take, but it's not. McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, Henrique down the middle is the strongest center group that we've seen in the National Hockey League in a hell of a long time. Like, and that's probably the reason. Like, it's too deep. You don't want Henrique technically on your fourth line, but I said we'd roll out some different line combinations every single Monday throughout the offseason. This is today's set. If Matt Savoie looks like he can play in the National Hockey League right now, they could do this. If not, if Savoie can't go yet, and we'll see how it plays out. Penciling him in today. The next set, next Monday, he probably won't be in there.
May not be an Oiler, right?
What?
Like, no,
Jeff Jackson. What have you done? But can he have more of an impact than Derek Ryan or Corey Perry?
I'd hope so.
And obviously, Perry in the room thing, I get it.
Yeah.
But like on the ice, you sure as hell hope that your top prospect can be better than Corey Perry right now. So I don't think it's crazy to slot him ahead of him. Let's see how it looks in camp. Sean is in and says, Dusty, is that not high expectations on Savoie? Let him cook in Bakersfield.
Wow.
Seems to me to be Yamamoto 2.0. Hope I'm wrong. That's in from Sean. No, he's not a Yamamoto. People don't realize how small Kyler Yamamoto was. Like, Kyler Yamamoto was tiny. I don't think it's high I don't think putting him on the third line with a veteran center over Corey Perry is a super high expectation for a guy who was 2.09 points per game in the Western League this year. I also don't think it's the end of the world if he plays in Bakersfield for a year.
Dusty, if Savoie plays with his max goals, somebody asks.
Sounds like a D-gen who's ready to bet it.
Well,
we're
on it.
12 on the third line as a rookie with 0 power play time? That'd be great. What do you think? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
Leduc, Aaron gives you an option to take a third liner to the first line or even a fourth to take a shift with McDavid is now the question. This team can go to the blender and not worry about what's next.
And there will be line combinations here on Mix and Match Mondays brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. In
August, you'll have Draisaitl up top.
Don't include. Yes, that will be.
Because why not? Well, that'll be an option.
But you could do that now. They do it before, but you can probably do it more comfortably now.
Yeah.
But I know people are going to be like, you're nuts for even suggesting this. But there will be mix and match line combinations at some point on a Monday here in the summer where Henrique, Brown, and Yamark aren't even together. Can you believe what do they say? The gall in me right now.
Did you watch the playoffs?
I know. I'm sure I'll get. I'm sure I'll get some.
No,
of
I
those.
look forward to these the Lions because you are going to get roasted. You're going to get celebrated, yet roasted every single day by some of the. But you can do a lot of things now. That's the pro. And even going full nuclear, yes, as you mentioned, a little more palatable than it would have been before. Options aplenty.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? This is what I wanted. I want the conversation from this because it just goes to show how deep it is. The one text came in and said, Dusty, I don't think they need to rush Savoie. You're right, they don't.
No.
But what I'm saying is that can he come into training camp and look significantly more impactful on a third line than Derek Ryan or Corey Perry? And I think the answer is there's a chance. Like there's a chance that could certainly happen. So, yeah, this is not an 18-year-old that they traded for that they're rushing into the lineup. This is a guy who's over-ripened in the Western Hockey League and ready to roll. And he could go to the American. I would think probably as of right now he starts in Bakersfield.
Yeah,
which is totally fine.
This is
totally
all
fine.
a bit of a fantasy
but for
type.
Today's line combination. What did I say earlier? I said this is the sexy lineup. Like this is a sexy lineup where like, oh my God, the guy they got from McLeod's already playing and he's on the third line and he's
how much more sexy is it going to get? Or I want people to rank these daily lineups because I think we're going to get into some muck here late July, like early August, where you're really going to be going. Like I want you going full off the board. Like just
I want somebody to keep track of all my lineups and then rank them at the end of September.
Yes.
Like,
what would you say today's is? Nasty chat, Paris Toulouse inbox.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Is it a 1 to 10 thing? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
well,
a good
we'll do
idea.
that because every day I think we need to see which one, and then we can go back in the tape, look, and then score them and match them up against what Knob does to start the season.
Like,
I can be a great just to keep track and watch.
it does factor into if Evander Kane is around still.
Yeah.
If he's healthy. A healthy Evander Kane is still a really impactful player for this team, right?
The way 2J moves, this could all be, I mean, in 2 weeks' time, this could all be blown up too, in terms of you naming some names on there. Well,
so on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like this lineup?